I'm Lexie, and this is Jon, and this is our couch. And we're Featurette. We're an electro-pop duo, which I think is gonna veer in like kind of a newish musical direction soon, but we'll get to that later. From Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. Yeah.
So can you just tell us a bit about the band, like what kind of music you guys do, and if there's any other members in the band?
Yeah, it's just us.
No one else is allowed to play in our band.
That's not true. I think one day somebody else will probably make like cameos on stage, but for the moment we're a duo, as we have been, and
It's electronic, so there's like not like singer songwriter. It's pretty full fledged, and I play drums on stage and do keyboards. Lexi does samplers, but we generally
and sings obviously.
Obviously she sings and other things. I will not sing live ever, and we do a lot of like electronic sound design for kind of poppy songs that make them kind of on the edgier, darker side of the pop world.
Yeah, I'd say like dark, edgy electro pop, dream pop, future pop, somewhere in that land is sort of where we live.
Cool. And how did you guys come up with the name of the band?
That was all Jon, which is so weird because Jon can't write lyrics. He's not allowed to write any of those.
I've written lyrics that are quite fine, but they don't really make sense. So they sound
They're just
cool.
Pretty words, man. They don't make any logical sense. Tell her.
Yeah, with the band Featurette, I was in a bunch of other bands before, and I think one of the big pressure points with some of them that were with labels were that they were unable to follow up their successful first albums. So they had a lot of pressure. They'd have like an EP, and then they get forced to flesh it out into a full-length album. And I sort of felt it wouldn't be nice to have a band where you could just do small featurettes. You didn't have to always do an album. You could do 2 songs, 1 song. It's sort of a vibe, right? So that's where the name came from.
So we started making like these little featurettes, which mean like a mini movie, right? So then we're like, ooh, you know what? We're visual artists, so why don't we make like featurettes and make music videos for them too? And we'll like make these awesome little just moments in time, little vignettes, like White Rabbit and like any of the music videos we've made. They're like mini movies. They're not just like a gym sort of thing. We try to like create this like experience or whatever. And
like a whole story.
Yeah, it's a good time. It's a good time. We like to use the visual medium to our advantage for sure.
That's super cool. That makes it interesting, I find.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot of musicians just make like videos with their songs, but when there's a whole story behind it and whole
yeah, it like takes you to like a place. I mean, music videos these days are like so creative, and people have really upped their ante. So we're just living on that level, just that high energy music video land. I love it. I live to make a music video. I really do.
Do you guys do them yourselves, or do you have people that work with you on those?
There's always a team for sure. Sometimes the team is 1 additional human. Sometimes the team is 20 additional humans. It really depends on the budget and if there's funding, because an indie project is always going to be dependent on like, did we get a factor grant or not? Right? But yeah, like White Rabbit, I actually just wrote an interview on this. White Rabbit was made by just us 2 and our producer Mark. So like 3 people. I think technically there were 4 people there. His wife Steph was the focus puller that day, and like that's it. That's all that was there. Us and a drum. And it was the coolest thing ever. Like if you haven't seen the video, you should check it out. There's like we're like in a giant pit of this guy's house where it will be in the future, and Jon's just like digging in a bunny outfit in the sand.
The budget was a shovel and 2 painters' suits.
Yeah, like that's it. It was so great. And then like on the flip side of that, we have a video like Million Things, I guess, where like there's dancers and there's like a billion costume changes and like all this stuff, and it's so fun to work with big teams and small teams because the challenges are so different.
We've been working with Ian McMillan for a while, and he's been awesome. We actually met him in LA, a Canadian in LA, and one day we went to I guess a bar after hours. Like first day in LA. We were doing some writing down there, and it was like a Canadian expat hang, and we were having beers, and he was like, "Hey, let's go do a music video." And it was another friend of ours.
DW was
there, and she's like, "Yeah, we're gonna do this thing in the desert this weekend." I'm like, "Sure, whatever." And then the next day we get a call,
crazy.
And they're like, "We got a van rented.
We got a producer. There's 5 of us. We're hitting the desert. Let's go for 2 days." We're like, "Wait, you were serious? Like, holy shit, are we doing this?"
Yeah, we basically
did it.
Yeah, we did that. He did that. Those guys it was all sweat equity
It
in
was
that one.
the best thing ever.
And then
That's
we
the music video for Bang. If you haven't seen that,
Wow.
you can
Yeah,
see
we just
it.
did it.
Because
Like,
the budget was $0. I think a piece of fabric. We bought a piece of fabric for that, and that was the set. That was
so we said that if we ever get anything, Ian, we'll do a proper video. So I think we've done maybe 5 with him now, right?
Yeah, we did Don't Know Me Without You with the giant car chase.
Million Things.
Bang, Million Things. Most recently, You Do You, and then the one that's coming out, well, yesterday, if this is airing on the 15th. So there you go.
Long answer.
Oh. So how long does it take you on average to film a video?
One day.
Yeah.
You only get one day to do it.
Well, that's not true. Bang, we did 2 days because it's not like we had to pay for space. We were just literally trespassing in the desert.
Oh, you're right. That was 2 days.
That was 2 days. But I think that's the only one that's 2 days because normally when you shoot on location, you don't want to double your budget on location because you spend so much money on location, right? That's usually like the entire budget going into like that and the crew. Mm-hmm. So doubling that for like, you know, a lighting pack and the location would be like brutal. So we just hammer them out in one day. That's it. It's wild.
Yeah, they're long days for sure.
Yeah.
And then usually Lexie's pretty ambitious. She likes to do all the set pieces herself or as much as she can ahead of time. So it's like the weeks leading up.
Oh, it's wild.
We're building like giant pencils.
Pre-production is absolutely insane. The music video that came out yesterday, the Blame Exposed version, was, I'll talk about it more later, but it was 100% my baby. And the props involved were extensive, like hard to create, hard to conceive of. Like it was a whole thing. So I've gotten more into that and I want to see myself going in that direction too for other artists. Like I really want to get into creating music videos for other people because I thrive. I live.
We can actually probably talk about this stuff now because another question I want to ask you was, what are some things you guys have been up to throughout the quarantine?
I mean, okay, we actually just finished editing like an interview piece on this, and it was like the best summary ever.
Go.
The first 4 months of quarantine, where we have like a little like patch of land in the backyard, and we wanted to like make over our garden or whatever because we're like, you know what, like we got nothing to do, like I don't have a job, like I gotta stay productive, I gotta do something, man. So I just like slipped into this like all-encompassing depression and like laid my thoughts introspectively into the ground in the form of creating a rock path with like tiny river stones one by one. I think that took like 3 weeks or something like that.
Forever, guys. It took all of COVID.
It took forever. It was like the craziest thing. It was just like laying the thoughts in the ground. It got like worse from there. We were like super like didn't know what to do with ourselves. Just like fell off the map.
Well, we got 2 things that helped us. We got a cat, which was lovely,
That's
and we
true.
got a piano. And the piano's been great. So
That's true. So yeah, the first 4 months were bad, and then we sort of got the cat piano vibes happening, and then we like took a like turn upward, and the job.
I can feel you with like the first few months being really difficult.
Right?
Nobody knew we didn't know where we were, what we were doing.
And it went from like 2 weeks, right, to like several months to like double that, and it felt so hopeless. And then I think after the 4 months, we started like figuring out, okay, we're in it now. We're just gonna stay in this place. So we started like figuring out how to be creative again, and like Jon said, like getting back to the piano and starting to figure out how to rearrange our set for some like online festivals and stuff. I think we actually played on Piano for You last time. Is that right?
Yeah. So whoever's watching this can check that out. I can link that into the
I think that was the first acoustic set that we'd ever done. Mm-hmm. And then we did a bunch more since then, but it was lovely to like get back to like what are the chord changes in our music? No, because you write it and then you go back and you're like, oh shit, like
when you do like an electronic set, right? You kind of program everything in.
Yeah, it's like you did it then and now you get to like live it, but we were like back in the music, everything was so organic, and then like I think that took over, and most recently we've been working on reworking The Blame, which was a song that we came out with in our 2020 record Dream Riot, which COVID stomped all over, and that was like such a sad thing.
Yeah, and everyone, like pretty much every artist,
not just
is in the same boat. So
but like timing was like garbage. But you know, you win some, you lose some, and so we tore the song apart and reworked it, and actually right up until the day we were shooting the music video, we were still conceiving of the track and what that would sound like and trying to solidify that. And we were like you know, filming day, we're like, oh my god, bounce it out, like we gotta go, man, like this is
you had to sing to it. We can't change it once she sings on film. You can't change the track.
It locks it in. Mm-hmm. So
right, you can't change anything. So
yeah, so that was like, it went from like nothing to like down to the wire. It was such a crazy thing that happened, but you know, for the better, because I think the art that we made is some of the more powerful art that we have made, and the only reason that we came to that is the time and introspection that it took to be able to address those feelings. So, yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Okay,
sorry?
well, I'll send it to you after this so that you can see it before this comes out in the future. The
Sure.
future.
So another thing we had mentioned last time we spoke was, like you just said, was that your most recent album came out in January, I think you had said.
2020.
So okay, so it was,
So
yeah.
like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, we were
COVID
on
time.
tour and we had to stop the tour because COVID
So
was really bad.
how has that been going? Like the whole release and like how's
Literally, the release was going so well. We had this like cross Canada tour plan. We were touring with Blonde Diamond. We had like a headliner in Vancouver, our first one. We played on the island. We were having the best time. And then we fly home and we're like, oh my God, like we fly home on the 12th. Boom, on the 13th, everything shut down. And we're like, oh, what? And our show was next week, like our hometown show. We had festivals, like things to do that just got like quashed. And I mean, so many important things happened in COVID that weren't COVID. Like the Black Lives Matter movement was like such a big, wonderful deal where people were just like, look at this and like sit down and be quiet and focus on this. And so we did
political unrest, and there's tons.
Yeah, there was so much tumultuous stuff happening that we just sat down and just focused on it because that's what we felt our piece was in all this. It wasn't like, hey, like listen to this. Like we didn't. I'm not worrying about that. We press pause and we will press play when it's time, which is any day now, really, any day now.
Yeah, we did well. I mean, stuff happened. We got a couple syncs, which have been great. I think one of our songs got on Ginny and Georgia. That's been great. One, so that's been taking off.
Yeah, it actually wasn't even on Dream Ride. It was Give a Little from Crave got sunk in Ginny and Georgia, and that like took off, which was really great to see, like a little like lift for us there. But we signed a publishing deal in August of 2020, so we've been like really leaning into that end of things with CCS.
Writing a lot, so it's been good. It's been busy. I think it's hard for a band to, we felt at least, it was hard to be, look at me during the last year. It just wasn't
I didn't
not
post,
appropriate.
I didn't like post things a lot. Like I was just like really taking it easy because, you know, A, we needed time to recuperate. It's hard to be on all the time. And B, there were more important things to focus on. So, yeah.
So along with that, I was going to ask about if you guys have done any streamed shows, but it sounds like you haven't.
A few. We did some to benefit like frontline workers and Black Lives Matter. Like we did I think the biggest one we did was Aesthetic Magazine. They did like a pretty big deal when they hit some targets, and there was like lots of fundraising and donating, and so some good stuff like that. But only stuff that like lined up. You know, I didn't want to do things that were just like electronic music festival. Like sounds so stupid. You know, like you can't do that.
I think it's really hard to, when you like, if you're doing any music, but especially electronic music, where you want to go to see it live. You want to feel it, right? You want that.
Yeah.
You want those sounds. It's very. It doesn't. I don't know if it translates that well on a laptop speaker.
Yeah. Well, I've attended some stream concerts lately, the past few months, and of course, it's not the same as it is when you're there in the moment with the people, with the performers, but it definitely was something to experience because, as we know, we can't really do that now. So it was a fun experience, but it's definitely not the same.
Yeah, it's like a weird Band-Aid experience, It's like I did a thing tonight.
I don't think it's bad. I just think for us, it's running our live show is so technically demanding. There's only two of us. We have lots of stuff happening. There's lots of moving pieces.
We didn't want to
It's just hard to do it right.
We didn't want to do a release party online. Like it's different if we're doing like I love doing the acoustic show. That was banging. That was some of the coolest stuff that we did because it was so nice to like go back to our roots and like be on a piano as an electronic project and like figure out what those chords were and like live in that moment. That was cool stuff. That lined up with like my heart and the pandemic and all those things. But like doing an electronic project release party for an album release show to people who paid for tickets, for example, like because our release show is supposed to be the next week. Like if we took our show and we were like, we're not going to give you a refund, we're going to play it for you online, I think people probably would have been like disappointed. So
yeah,
we're just gonna wait.
Well, it's hard when you shoot the confetti cannon into the laptop screen.
The laptop isn't a.
I have 6 of them downstairs, and I think it would have just been like static, like way too much. The screen just.
You're at home watching on your computer. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Could go one of two ways.
Yeah. Well, save them. You'll use them one day.
Yeah. I'm not panicked about it, honestly. I think like the people who care about our project will be there to support us on the other end. And anybody who's like, I lost interest, I didn't hear from them for a year, like that's okay. You know what? That's okay. I'll see you someday. Cool.
And I gotta say, I'm one who has discovered a lot of new musicians doing these interviews. You guys are one, and I cannot wait till we're able to go to concerts so I can see all these people live, you know?
Proper, because like it's worth the hype. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing like a live show, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. What other reason would a person get like so? Oh my god, I'm sure so many other lead singers experience this. Like before you go on stage, like you get butterflies like the first time you're falling in love. You know, like it's like the craziest. Like I'm just gonna tear myself open and like put it all out there. And, like,
Yeah.
oh my god, there's nothing like that, and like the crowd feels that energy, and it's like. Can't get that through a screen, man. Not to the same degree. So
Yeah. Hopefully soon. I mean, with the vaccine rollout now and everything, hopefully it'll help out.
please.
I hope so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So guys, apart from music, do you guys have full-time jobs that you do?
Full time. What's a full
Or part-time or anything, like a job? Like, do you guys do anything else, or is it like, is music your thing?
Yeah, we actually run like an art company, and we did it for.
Have you heard of Paint Night?
Yeah.
If you haven't, go check it out.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Hosted by yaymaker.com.
Yeah, we've done that for a bunch of years now.
Like almost 9 years we've been doing the same job.
Oh, cool.
And we do it together, which is like even more cool, because we work together, we make music together. Clearly, we live together, and we have 2 baby cats together. But yeah, the job's cool. It's I'm sure lots of people who watch this will have heard of Paint Night. It's far more popular than our band will ever be. Or maybe that'll be our new band. Maybe we'll like hope to beat it. Like that'll be our benchmark. Yeah. But it's drinking and painting at bars and restaurants around the world, really. But we handle the Toronto GTA area, and we do that like hand in hand with like a ton of very talented artists. Some of them are my close personal musician friends, such as Bedhead, plug Bedhead. Veronica is a Paint Night artist, and she is fabulous. And yeah, basically we go and we teach people how to paint, and in a pandemic it's very hard to do that in a bar. So
that's actually what I was gonna ask you. I've heard of some people doing them from home now. Do you guys do it from home?
Yeah, so they convert it to virtual, and it's been good. I mean, it's been like up and down because Zoom fatigue and whatever other we want to talk about that by. But we've been doing a lot of like corporate events, which is good, and obviously we scaled back massively, but it's still been something. So
yeah, we've been actually shipping a lot of art, like the supplies that we used to bring to the venues. We've started a little company called Canada Art Kits. We'll plug that.
CanadaArtKits.ca.
And we basically give you like we're just giving like the better quality materials out to people. We can do a lot of shipments out to Ontario, Quebec.
It's like a forever fire sale. It's like really good materials that we can't afford to warehouse, so we're just keeping them on sale for the entirety of the pandemic.
Yeah, so it's funny that during the year we've had times where our house is full of boxes, like hundreds and hundreds of boxes to be mailed out.
Yeah.
And so all of our music gear is pushed to the side, and there's all these boxes out, and then
maybe I'll send you a clip so you can insert the clip of all of the boxes.
The worst day we had
300 and something.
Yeah, I think we had 140 in the house, 140 on the porch.
Oh,
it was crazy.
It was stupid. It was so stupid. They're big boxes. They're like
a
big pizza box.
That's your entire house. Like we were covered in boxes. It was wild.
Crazy.
So that's our other side thing. So it's pretty much art all the time.
Art forever.
Can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. Well, you can't
therapy, right? So
financially go wrong with that. It's a bad decision. I don't recommend it. If
I find art as therapy. So for me, like art, I mean, I still have my,
love. Yes. So, no, I 100% agree. I'm joking around. Art is absolutely therapy. There's nothing better than that. But if you had the opportunity to be a lawyer, that would probably be.
They don't have any fun. They have long, whatever.
Art forever, man.
They can do their lawyer thing all they like.
You can furnish your house for cheaper than paying somebody else.
Did you make that?
Yeah, it's mine. Dun, 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 dun.
Nice. So cool. Awesome.
Hashtag.
So another thing I was gonna ask you guys is something that a lot of people have been doing through this pandemic was take up new hobbies or do new things that they never thought they'd really do. And I was curious if you guys have anything
Oh
that you
yeah,
guys
I think
started.
she complains
So
about it all the time.
many.
It's
So many hobbies.
I'm a jerk. So I'm one of these. I started my own sourdough culture, like a million people did. And this past March, my sourdough turned 1 year. I had a big birthday party for it. It's quite a momentous moment. So I think my best move. I make sourdough pizza.
We eat so much bread, you guys. It's crazy. It's so bad.
Lexie's like, what do we have for breakfast? Bread? And she's like, no, please, no more bread.
No gluten
But it's
free
really good,
in
like-
this household. Not gonna happen. No.
So I've been doing that. It's been fun, cooking, and that sort of kept me occupied, just as kind of another hobby to do.
Ooh, I got a hobby. Actually, it's on the floor. This is a weird place to put a knife. I am a mushroom hunter now. Ooh. So fun. We went into the forest and we went foraging for mushrooms like all summer long. It's morel season now, everyone. Get outside and find your local morels.
No, how about this? Do some research so you make sure you pick.
Don't poison
Morels.
yourselves at home.
As I was thinking, I was like, what?
Save money on groceries. Get those chanterelles happening. Yes.
Yeah, so we've been doing that. I think, that's pretty standard.
Why
I
is
think.
this even here?
I don't know if I have it there.
It's like a knife.
You never know when you need
Cat, bring that?
Yeah, the
you
cat
never know when
probably
you need to
brought it in.
harvest a
absolutely.
mushroom, right? It could be any time. And we've listened to lots of music. I think that's.
We got into records. Yeah, we never had a record player before, so we got like really heavy into listening through an album.
Yeah, my sister actually has been into records and she got a record player too. So
It's the best.
It's really the best. You understand the artist so much better. Like at the end of it, you feel like
and
whether
the sound it makes.
yeah, like
It's
whether or
amazing.
not you even like the music, like fundamentally, like if somebody gives you a record and you're like, oh, I wouldn't have chosen this, but then you listen to it, at the end of it, you like love it because you went on to
Yeah.
it, right?
Yeah.
Not being able to just hit next or not being able to just hit shuffle is a big. It's really.
It like
good.
totally takes the like 30-second, 15-second, 5-second attention span thing that we've like grown into and like flips it on its head. It's awesome.
And she's got some family that dropped off a bunch of like their old. We have some records from family members that are no longer using the records from the 60s and 70s, like stuff you'd never ever think to put on, and it's like so great to.
So cool. You can go to like these record stores. My sister has gone to a few where they sell used ones. They obviously check them first, and they sell them for like $5-10, and
We have a place.
We have a dollar
A
bin
dollar.
near us. A dollar bin. Yeah.
The dollar bin we grabbed. It's
Every
not,
time we go, well, we can't go in anymore, but every time we went, we bought a record and you buy something from the dollar. Some like
random.
this one. From the
Super fun. Like it's been really fun to do that. So.
And then like, like whatever you do alongside listening to the record to enhance the experience, that extrapolate here.
Drink,
Yeah.
a glass of wine or whatever. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Super
absolutely.
fun. Yeah, so that's been good for us because I think we never really took the time to do the things that would take that attention, right?
Been walking our cats on leashes, the whole 9 yards really. We've really gotten into it. Gardening, yeah.
Yeah, we talked to a bunch of other musician friends and they're kind of in the same boat. So we're all kind of doing eclectic things and just writing music and sort of
it's
living.
the time for that now.
Yeah. I'm actually really excited to see what comes out in the next year as people have had this experience. I think I hope the music has a little bit more, like, especially electronic music. A lot of the music doesn't necessarily have a lot of depth. It just sounds cool, right?
It's like Dead Eyes, like
like we're partying all night long or dance, whatever it is. Often, or it could just be a sample that sounds great. But I'm hopeful that we're going to get a lot of songs that are not just surface area stuff. Surface stuff that it's just written to sound cool. That there might be a little bit more to it, right? We'll see. We never know. But that's sort of what I'm eager to.
Yeah.
Eager to see what happens, right?
I'm super. Yeah, me too. I'm excited to see what's coming. So, guys, my very most famous question this year on these episodes is, what is the thing you guys missed the most since the pandemic started?
I think
Can we just like take a moment to scream for a minute? Just like,
I think this is hard because
Oh,
I think the answer changes from the beginning of the pandemic to now.
yeah.
You almost forget, like it's like being in jail so long you forget what freedom is.
Yeah, like I thought the answer to that would have been like people, like seeing my friends. It's like I don't even know if I could face my friends anymore. Like God, like
Yeah, you can.
no,
Come on, that'd be great.
like I'm like I talk a lot, but that doesn't make me an extrovert. Like I'm a very introverted person, so like I don't know like how to go outside anymore. Today I had to pick up a bunch of cat food for our very many two cats, and I like had to interact with like the lady who like brought the things to the curbside pickup, and I was like, oh my God, like hi, like eat, like ooh, started like coughing because I couldn't talk.
That'll go away when this is all.
You can hide your emotions with a mask though.
Yeah. I need sunglasses too, and then like a cape or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
I think it was.
Put your hood on, put the glasses on, the mask is on, you're good.
I think like having like people over to like have a glass of wine and hang out, you know, like just like very simple, like bare bones. Like a small intimate gathering, like having those like deep dive conversations where it's like, do aliens exist? Like I really want to talk about that with somebody other than John because like I'm intimately familiar with his perspective on that now. So like
we pretty much ran out of any new material.
We have nothing left. We have nothing left to talk about. So
you've got your answer on most things now. So yeah, I feel that.
I think I miss like I'm pretty ADHD, so I like going out and seeing friends and being in a noisy place or seeing me like going to a show and
social butterfly.
Watching in a packed sweaty club just to like watch somebody shred would be great, right? But yeah, I think I missed that. But again, I'm not eager to jump in until we know it's
we're not going to be the first in line when like
definitely not
stuff opens up. Like,
no.
Like so.
Like I haven't been to a mall since it started, so
I'm like
the first one.
I'm like a turtle now. I'm like, hello, is it safe? Like not quite.
It's funny because I'm like a mix of both of you guys. Like I'm a homebody and I love to be home, and I had weekends where I just never went out. But at the same time, I like those, you know, going out with some friends and going to a bar and having a couple of drinks.
Traveling. Wait, hold on. Traveling. That's it. Climates other than this one. The winter. Not being cold in the winter months.
She hates the winter. She likes to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and not in like a beach way either. Like I just want to walk around on some like foreign ground that isn't where I live. You know, not even like with other people. Just like
2 years ago, this time we actually got to go to Egypt.
Oh, for a wedding. Yeah, that was.
Did we do some music there? It was like bass. It was so cool, right? So I just definitely missed that too. That's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah.
See, I'm not a huge traveler. I don't mind traveling, but I'm not a huge traveler. So for me, you're gonna laugh at me. My huge travels have been Toronto lately. So
yeah, I live for that answer.
Yeah,
it's a big city. I think Toronto gets a lot. It's like kind of shit on a lot, but I like Toronto. I think it's nice.
I love my trips there. I've taken a bunch and I loved it. So.
Wait, where are you right now?
I'm in Montreal.
Right. Okay, yeah, I must go into Montreal. Actually, I have a trip to Montreal planned for whenever it's over. I have two very close friends that live in Montreal, and we are going to go and eat some poutine. It's going to be
never say it right.
I'm very excited about it.
Oh, yeah, we're sort of making poutine, actually, while we're...
Yeah. John can make French fries like you wouldn't even understand. It's like some Heston Blumenthal recipe. We were already like, we love cooking. It's like a big thing for us, but...
Yeah, next time we'll see. I'll have to make some. You'll have to do the test. A Montrealer will know for sure if they're too...
You let me know, and we will have your order ready for pickup.
Definitely letting you know.
They could be too far though, you know, like they could be too fancy. It could be.
I make this vegan mushroom gravy. It is like to die for. It's like,
oh my God, that sounds good.
Yeah, I'm clearly a mushroom person.
All right, my Toronto trip. And anybody else who's watching this, we're going to Toronto together.
Give me a day, guys. I need to cut potatoes up.
Wait, I have a better answer. Traveling is a good one. Petting other people's pets. That is something that I miss that I would like to do. And I feel like that's one of the first things I could do with one shot of vaccine and they have a shot and everyone's wearing a mask. I feel like
so I'll bring my dog with me.
Yeah, I could start petting dogs again. Bring back make Canada dogs again.
You gotta have two. You've got to have 2 shots before. No way.
Okay, 2 shots and then I get to pet the dogs.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll bring my dog.
Yeah.
Whenever it happens, I'll bring my dog.
Yeah, if randoms could just start showing up at my house.
Okay, we gotta turn this around. So what's been the most popular answer?
People.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
I feel like I'm in the minority for sure. I'm just like people's pets. But
people, and I think traveling too, but people has been like the most.
I'm definitely the girl at the party that like spends time in the corner with the cat. Like that's Truly, I'm that meme. I'm that girl. Like,
She's gonna hang around me all day, so she's probably sick of people.
Well,
It's true.
but guys, actually, I've asked you all my questions. So, is there anything you want to ask me?
I mean, why are you a floating head in the dark was going to be my question all along. But also, I really like it and I like the vibe of it. But okay, yeah, let's do this. What's been occupying the majority of your time that isn't like work or school related? Biggest hobby
Or time
that you've spent?
My coloring book.
Show us, show us, show us.
Do you color inside the lines or outside the lines?
I'm pretty good, actually. I just finished this one.
Oh,
Okay, you're
artista!
good.
That is gorgeous. That reminds me of a poinsettia.
Yeah, that's actually what my friends were saying. Yeah. So honestly, I think my coloring, and that's pretty much it, has been one of the main things, because and now I'm doing my full-time job at the school, but I started tutoring on the side and I started doing some Zoom groups on the side as well. So it's taken up my weekends and some evenings.
Nice.
So my life is mainly work and color.
So you need a vacation. When this is over, you just need a vacation.
So I'll be in Toronto.
Yeah, for some poutine. There you go.
Some
Perfect.
Toronto poutine doesn't make any sense, but it will make sense.
It
when
will
you
make
have
sense.
it.
Just
I
wait.
mean, I had one in Oakville the last time I was there. It was pretty good.
No. It won't be that
Just
good.
wait.
I'm being such a jerk. It probably is delicious, actually.
He's like.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining again. It was great talking.
Thanks for having us. And yeah, I guess we should also plug, if the single came out yesterday, if this does come out on the 15th of May and you're watching this at this time, we just had our single, the Blame Exposed version, come out yesterday, and it's on some deep stuff. So feel free to check that out and dive into my heart.